lot. We're going to crank out a spin here. We just did a little talk on that on Monday. The concept is real simple. The truth. Why don't we really get into what the truth is all about? The truth, as far as I'm concerned, is really under attack now. So let's zero in on what goes on with the truth. Well, there's basically 5 or 6 things you can know about the truth, okay? Real simple. Number one, you got to know it, you got to understand it, you got to receive it, you got to act on it, okay? You got to maintain it, and you got to build legs underneath the truth. You got to have a steadfast belief. And more importantly than anything else, you got to attach the appropriate faith behind the truth. Now, study the truth. Let's think about the truth as we go through this. A lot of people now don't really spend their time fighting for the truth. Years ago, it was real simple. If someone started a rumor, the key to killing a rumor was to say, where did you hear it from? And if that person said, well, I heard it from so and so, well, the next question was, well, where did so and so hear the rumor from? And then what you do is you ask one more time. You say, okay, let's say you heard it from Jim. Well, where did Jim hear it from? Well, Jim heard it from Sally. Okay, where did Sally hear it from? And then you could finally get all the way back, and sooner or later, and you hope sooner rather than later, you're going to get to the truth. And see, what's going to happen is Sally's going to say, I heard it from so-and-so, and then maybe she heard it from Oscar or whatever, and Oscar says, well, that's what I said, exactly what I said. Okay, so now we know where it really originated from. Or Oscar could say, I never said that. And now we know we could trace it all the way back. We know where the truth dissolved. See, that's called knowing the truth. But then the other side of it, once it happens, you got to understand it. You got to wrap your mind all around it and say, wow, that is the truth, and I understand why it's the truth. So you got to take it from right from the beginning and drill it all the way down, get right down to the nub of it so you can understand it. And then the other thing is, once you know that truth and understand that truth, you have to take it into you. You have to internalize it. You have to understand it. And then what you have to do is, once you know the truth, you have to act on it. See, a lot of what I'm saying is right from the Bible and how they teach people how to understand what the word really is. But in life, it works that way. If you don't act on the truth, you're not really part of the truth. The truth hasn't come in you. It might have got on you, but it never came in you. And then not only that, after you've acted on the truth, you got to make sure that you're able to maintain it. Now that's hard to do because a lot of people are going to attack you saying you don't know the truth. You don't understand the truth. You haven't acted on the truth. And you have your medal, you have your armor, whatever it is, that shows that you're willing to maintain it. You're willing to put yourself on the line for it and make sure that you have every opportunity to hang on to it. And then the last part of it is being steadfast. Steadfast belief. I mean, when you think about those 2 words and you tie them together, you can't have a more powerful thing than a steadfast belief. That means no matter like what happened yesterday, the wind's blowing as hard as you possibly can, but you're still holding on to what you believe. You're still holding on to what you know you're grabbing onto. It means that much to you. And then, which is one of the hardest things you could possibly ever do, is you have to make sure that you appropriate a faith to it. And faith, as they tell us, real simple, is faith is evidence that's not seen. You got to know that it's in your heart. You got to know that you can feel it. Even though no one showed you any evidence of it really being there, you gotta believe it. It's a good example of faith is this. Pretend you're in a boat and it's real foggy, but you have an idea where you're going and you believe you know where you're going. That's faith. You have faith in yourself to find yourself out of the fog and getting your boat into the shore. That's what faith comes down to. It might be total fog, total darkness, but you know you're gonna wind up getting where you want to go. That's the see that basically, and the Bible says this real clear. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. It sets you free because now you have something to hold on to. Now you have something that allows you to gain strength. Sure. Now it allows you the strength to do what you have to do to keep yourself going. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set ye free. The other thing is learning. Now, learning has a very interesting dimension to it, worth talking about, worth thinking about. What is the process someone goes through to learn something? They use basically 5 steps to do that. 5 simple steps. The first one is you have to acquire a tremendous enthusiasm to want to learn what it is you want to learn. Now I'm talking about really learning it. I'm saying like you know it so well you can get up in front of 100 people and talk about it. All right, so you learn something, okay? But what is the process? You have to be excited about it first. You have to be excited about it. Then you have to be excited about it where you can go over and over it. You could take that information, maybe something totally foreign to you, and start saying it over and over. Then, one of the most important things when it comes to learning anything, not only have you heard it over and over, not only are you excited about it, you got to start drilling yourself. You got to rehearse it. You got to practice. You got to see how well you really know it. I find myself doing this a lot with whatever positive talk that comes my way, and I want to learn it verbatim. I'll go through those exact steps. I'll be excited about it. I want to make sure more above all that out, above anything, I want to see it a real lot. I want to hear it a lot. I want to say it a lot. But then I want to test myself. How well do you really know it? How well do you know it? Test yourself. Say it over and over and over. Anything positive. You know, I love my work. What is it? I heard Brian Tracy say this. He said, I like myself and I love my work. I like myself and I love my work. You might not, but if you could say that over and over to yourself in an idea where you really do love yourself, you should love yourself, otherwise you're in kind of tough shape if you're not. But the other thing is you love what you're doing. You love your work. You love your work. You love yourself and you love the person doing the work, which is you. See, that's the rehearsing. But then after you do it over and over again, we're almost ready to wrap it up here. But if you do it over and over again, then you could start internalizing it. Remember, I had a sales manager years ago. He said this. He said, there's 2 ways to do your sales presentation. He said, number one, you can remember the words and just say them to people, or you can internalize it, where it's almost like you're a piece of wood, where you can paint the wood and the color can be changed at any time. But if you stain the wood, the stain can't come out of the wood. It's in the wood. That's internalizing it. That makes it part of you. You think about any actor, have you been in a movie, any actress, they become the person. They internalize it. Okay? That's how you learn. You learn through internalizing. And then the other part of it, and this is the fifth part, real important along with internalizing it, is you know it so well, you're confident, and you can get up in front of people and teach it. You could teach it. You could show them the way in which you became more and more familiar with the information, more and more excited about the information. See, that's learning. And that's basically we're talking about the truth. You got to learn the truth. You got to walk yourself through the paces and make yourself feel real good about the activity and the time that you're spending. Always feel good about what you're doing. If you don't have it, if you don't feel good about what you're doing, ask yourself why. Why don't I feel good about this? What's holding me back? Find out that, because then you'll gain a lot more power and a lot more push as you go through in your efforts to learn the truth, study how you actually learn something. Jim Rohn said, I'll wrap it up with this just to throw this out there to give you an idea. There's usually about 3 or 4 basic things, fundamental things you have to learn about being able to do anything. Practice that. Study that concept. Study the truth. Don't settle for not receiving the truth and understanding it. And don't hesitate to watch how you actually learn things. I hope that helped you, and thanks a lot for watching another Spinato Spin. Have yourself a great night, everybody. Bye bye now.